Welcome to the fourth module of the course, Senior Secondary School Computer Science Content. The title of this module is Teaching Methods. A teaching method is a strategy or approach used by a teacher to deliver instruction and facilitate learning. It refers to the general principles, pedagogy, and management strategies used in the classroom to educate students. Different teaching methods can be used to achieve different learning outcomes and to cater to different learning styles. Also, different methods may be more effective for different subjects and different student population, so it is essential for teachers to be familiar with a variety of methods and to use them in an appropriate and pedagogical sound way. So by the end of this lesson, you should be able to critically analyze specific teaching methods, including their strengths and weaknesses. So let's get started. The very first example of teaching method which we shall take is the direct instruction versus lecture method. So direct instruction is the teaching method that involves the teacher providing explicit step-by-step instructions to the student on how to perform a task or solve a problem. It is a highly structured, teacher-centered method that emphasizes the transmission of knowledge and skills. In this method, the teacher presents the material in a logical and organized way, using a variety of teaching aids such as slides, charts, diagrams to enhance the learning experience. So the direct instruction method is effective in providing students with a clear and organized presentation of the material as well as an in-depth knowledge of specific topics. It is also useful in teaching specific skills and strategies such as mathematics facts, reading comprehension strategies, and grammar rules. It is also effective in providing students with a solid foundation of knowledge that can be built upon in future. However, the direct instruction method also has its limitations. It may not be as effective as we want it to be in promoting critical thinking and problem-solving skills, as it is highly structured and teacher-centered approach. It also may not be as effective in catering to different learning styles as it's one size fits all. The second method of teaching here is the lecture method. So this one is also a traditional method that involves the teacher delivering information to the student through lectures, presentations, and talks. In this method, it is often used to impart knowledge and understanding of a subject. All right, and at the same time, at the same time, this is mostly used in higher education. So the lecture method is also used in primary and secondary and even vocational education. So in this method, the teacher is the primary source of information, and the students are expected to be passive listeners. The lecture method is effective in providing students with a broad overview of a subject as well as in-depth knowledge of specific topics. It is also useful in introducing concepts, theories, and information, and for providing students with a solid foundation of knowledge that can be built upon in the future. However, the lecture method has some limitations. Students may have difficulty retaining the information presented and may not be able to apply the knowledge to real-life situations. Additionally, students may become bored or disengaged with the material if the lecture is not interactive or if the teacher delivery method is monotone or uninteresting. Another method of teaching which we shall take is a discussion method and as well as discovery method. So for the discussion method, is a method that involves encouraging students to engage in meaningful discussion, group discussions, debates, and other interactive activities. So this method is often used to develop critical thinking, all right, and promote problem-solving skills, as it allows students to actively participate in the learning process and to share their ideas, thoughts, and perspectives with their peers. In this method, the teacher serves as a facilitator, guiding and directing the discussion rather than being the primary source of information as we have it in both direct and lecture method. So the teacher may provide the student with a topic or a question to discuss and then ask open-ended questions to encourage students to think critically and share their ideas. The teacher may also use a variety of strategies such as small group discussion, debates, fishbowl discussions to create a more interactive and engaging learning environment. The discussion-based method is effective in promoting active learning and critical thinking as it allows students to engage with the material and to apply their learning to real-life situations. It also allows students to develop their communication skills as they must express their ideas clearly and effectively to participate in the discussion. It also promotes collaboration and teamwork as students must work together to explore and understand the material. Okay, and it allows for diverse perspectives and ideas to be shared, giving students a broader understanding of the topic. However, there are some drawbacks. So the discussion-based method has its limitations. Some of these may be that some students may be reluctant to participate in the discussion, and some may dominate the conversation. So it requires a certain level of preparedness from the student and the teacher to make discussion method effective. Similar to discussion method is the discovery method. Okay, so discovery method, also known as discovery learning method, is a student-centered approach to education that encourages students to explore, discover, and question the world around them. So the method is based on the idea that learners, as we know them. So learners, or the students as the case may be, will be more motivated and engaged when they are allowed to discover information and concepts for themselves, rather than being told what to do or what to learn. Okay, this also offers some advantages in the sense that the teacher may provide students with a problem or question to investigate, and they allow students to work independently or in small group to find the answer or solution. This will create a kind of interaction, a kind of we use that perspective to shape each other. So the teacher can also use a variety of strategies such as hands-on activity, experiment, and inquiry-based projects to enhance the teaching and learning in the discovery method. However, we can also mention the fact that discovery method requires high level of student autonomy and self-direction, which may not be appropriate for all level of students. It requires a lot of preparation from the teacher in order to provide the student with necessary resources and guidance. Okay, great. Then we can also mention project-based and problem-based teaching. For the project-based teaching, it involves having students work on real-world problems or projects and assignments that allow them to apply their learning to real-life situations. It is a student-centered approach that emphasizes the application of knowledge and skills to solve real-world problems. So in this method, the teacher provides students with a problem or challenge to solve and then guides them, the students. So students work in small groups or independently, while the teacher also provides feedback and support throughout the project. So the project-based method is effective in promoting active learning, critical thinking, and problem-solving skills, as it allows students to engage with the material and to apply their learning to real-life situations. It also allows students to develop their creativity as they are encouraged to come up with their own solutions and ideas. Additionally, it allows students to learn by doing and to experience the relevance of the learning material to the real world. So meanwhile, there are also some drawbacks, as this project-based method requires a lot of planning and preparation from the teacher, and it requires a high level of student autonomy and self-direction, which may not be appropriate for all students. Additionally, it may be difficult to assess student learning and to ensure that all students are meeting the learning or intended learning outcomes. So for the next one, which is problem-based instruction, very similar to the project-based, except the fact that it uses real-world problems or scenarios to engage students in the learning process. This may happen in the classroom instead of the project-based, which may happen outside the classroom. So in problem-based instruction, the teacher presents students with a problem or scenario that is related to the material being taught. The problem is designed to be open-ended and to require critical thinking, problem solving, and other higher order thinking skills. Students work through the problem in small groups or individually and are provided with resources and support to help them find the solution. This happens in class or like in the project-based where it happens outside the classroom. The next one is inquiry-based instruction. This is very fantastic. So for the inquiry-based teaching, or you call it inquiry-based instruction, or you call it inquiry learning, as the case may be, is a student-centered approach that encourages students to explore, discover, and question the world around them. It is based on the idea that learners will be more motivated and engaged when they are allowed to discover information and concepts for themselves. Okay, rather than being told what to do or what to learn. Okay, and for this inquiry-based teaching, it has a lot of benefits as it encourages critical thinking. It makes your student to be more curious and makes them to be more creative. Okay, and when we talk about this, we can also mention that in this inquiry-based teaching, the teacher serves as a facilitator, providing students with the resources and guidance they need to explore and discover new information and concepts. Okay, the teacher may provide students with a problem or a question to investigate and then allow students to work independently or in small group to find the answer or solution. So in content-based instruction, I can say it is more or less like an umbrella for problem-based instruction or project-based teaching as the case may be. All right. So the teacher may also use a variety of strategies as hands-on activities, experiment, and inquiry-based project, as in case of a project-based teaching, to create a more interactive and engaging learning experience. So the teacher provides feedback and support throughout the inquiry and uses a variety of assessment tools such as observation, reflection, and presentation to evaluate the student. But of course, it has some limitations in terms of it consumes time and it requires a lot of preparation from both the teacher and the student for it to be meaningful. Then we talk about the online learning. So can we change our classroom from the physical classroom now to virtual classroom? Yes, we can do that. And the method to use is online teaching method. So the online teaching method is a method that involves delivering instruction and educational materials over the internet. It is also known as e-learning, distance learning, or virtual learning. So the method can be done synchronously, where the teacher and the student are online at the same time, or asynchronously, where the teacher and student are online at different times. So online learning or online teaching method is effective in providing flexible and accessible learning opportunities to students who may not be able to attend traditional in-person classes. It also allows for a wide range of students to participate in the class regardless of location or time constraint. Additionally, it allows for the use of multimedia and interactive tools which can enhance the learning experience. However, the online teaching method also has its limitations. It requires a high level of self-motivation and self-discipline, as students are required to complete the coursework on their own. Okay, so it also requires a good internet connection and appropriate technology, which may not be accessible to all levels of students, especially in these developing countries. So additionally, so it may lack the social interaction and face-to-face contact that is present in traditional classroom setting. So similar to online learning, online teaching method, could also be the flipped classroom. All right, so in the flipped classroom, the classroom here is an instructional strategy that involves reversing the traditional classroom model. Okay, instead of having the teacher lecture on a topic and then assign homework, students which watch videos or read materials that cover the topic before class and then use class time to engage in activities, discussion, or other interactive tasks that help them to further understand the material and apply it to the real world situation. What we are talking about in flipped classroom is that instead of having the lesson going on in the classroom, the lesson will be online, okay, and the student will have to watch the videos before coming to the classroom. And the homework or the assignment that students used to do at home will now be done during the class time. So we are flipping the classroom. All right. So in the flipped classroom, the teacher creates instructional videos, readings, or other materials that cover the content for a particular unit or lesson. So the materials are made available to students before class, and students are expected to watch the videos or read the materials as homework. So in class, the teacher facilitates discussion, group work, and other interactive activities that allow students to apply and deepen their understanding of the material line. So the benefit and the drawbacks are also similar to that of the online learning. So the next one is the blended learning. This is quite interesting, yeah? So blended learning is an instructional approach that combines traditional face-to-face instruction with online learning. It is a combination of online instruction and traditional classroom. So in this method, students have the flexibility to learn at their own pace while still having the support and interaction of a class setting. In blended learning, students walk through online materials and activities outside of class and then come to class prepared to engage in these activities, discussion, or other interactive tasks that help them to further understand the material and apply it to real life situations. The teacher uses online tools such as discussion boards, quizzes, and interactive activities to provide opportunity for students to interact with the material and to get feedback. So the blended learning approach is based on the idea that students can learn more effectively when they have a combination of both online and face-to-face interaction. However, blended learning has some limitations as it requires good internet connectivity, just like in the case of online learning, and some other drawbacks associated with the online learning. Okay, so then we talk about the game-based learning, so which is quite interesting. So game-based learning is an instructional strategy that uses games or simulations to engage students in learning process. Here we call it serious games, no longer the fun games. So the idea behind game-based learning is that student games can be used to create an engaging and interactive learning experience while also helping students to develop critical thinking, problem solving, and other skills. In game-based learning, students walk through a game or simulation that is designed to teach a specific concept or skill. The game may be a digital game such as the educational app or a web-based game, or it may be a physical game such as the board games or role-playing game. The game is designed to be both fun and educational, and it typically includes elements such as level challenges, reward, and a sense of progress. Okay, so game-based learning is an effective in engaging students, is an effective approach in engaging students and keeping them motivated to learn. It also allows for a more personalized and self-paced learning experience. Additionally, games can be used to teach a wide range of subjects and skills such as math, science, history, and language. However, there are some limitations as it requires some technology, it's dependent on technology, which may not be accessible to all students. Additionally, it requires a high level of self-motivation and self-discipline to learn from games. So also, it requires a lot of planning and preparation from the teacher to create effective game-based learning experience. Perfect. Now we talk about the team-based teaching. Now we used to have one teacher in class. Then can we have more than one teacher in class teaching? Yeah, we can do that. And for we to conceptualize a teaching method or a teaching approach that does that, is we talk about the team-based teaching. So it's a method of instruction in which a group of teachers work together to plan, deliver, and assess instruction for a group of students. The approach is also known as collaborative teaching, co-teaching, or co-instruction. In team-based teaching, teachers work together to create a shared understanding of the curriculum that needs and the needs of their students. They also share responsibility for planning, delivery, and assessing instruction. And this game-based team-based teaching, it can be of three forms. The first one could be parallel. So here, two or more teachers will teach the students at the same time in the classroom. They'll be going around through individual students and attend to their needs. While the second aspect, the second form could be the alternative teaching. Two or more teachers take turns in delivering instruction to the same group of students. One will teach the first topic in the curriculum, the second will teach the second topic, and so on and so forth. While the third form it could take is station teaching. Here, students rotate through different stations or learning centers, each led by a different teacher. Okay, and we have a lot of benefits as it allows teachers to share their strength and expertise with one another, leading to a more effective instruction for students. For example, one teacher may have expertise in a particular subject area, one another may have experience in working with students who have learning disabilities, so they can use this and help themselves to make sure the learning is more interesting. When we talk about teachers, more than one teachers teaching, can we also talk about more than one student teaching each other? Yes, definitely. Then we talk about the peer instruction. So peer instruction is a teaching method that encourages active learning and critical thinking through student to student teaching. It allows students to engage with the material by answering conceptual questions before, during, and after the class. The method is flexible and can be used in various classroom settings and subject areas. One of the main benefits of peer instruction is that it allows students to learn from their peers. By working in small groups, students can share their knowledge and perspectives, so which can lead to a deeper understanding of the material. Also, peer instruction allows students to take ownership of their learning as they actively participate in the process. Another benefit of peer instruction is that it allows the instructor to assess students' understanding of the material in real time. By asking the same question before, during, and after the class, the instructor can gauge student process and makes adjustments to their teaching as necessary. So these are some of the teaching methods that we can cover in this lesson, though it is becoming longer than usual. But at least I believe you have gained something from this. Thank you.